Hey love, welcome or welcome back. It's Angelica. If you are new, today we are getting straight into this hot oil treatment, this overnight hot oil treatment for massive hair growth. So you need a spray bottle, a cup of hot water, not hot, just warm, and whatever oil you're using. In this video, I will be using Do Grow. I will be explaining everything later with benefits and all that. But for now, I wanted to get straight into the demo so that if you want to start doing it, you know exactly what we're doing. So I'm using my spray bottle, and I always love to dampen my hair using this continuous spray bottle. And you can use a regular spray bottle if you want, but the reason why I like this one is because it doesn't spray a lot of water at once, and it's not highly concentrated. It's completely even, so everywhere around my hair will have an even spritz of hair. You do not want to make your hair wet, you only want to make it damp. And you might be wondering why I'm doing this before a hot oil treatment, and the reason is because if you do this on dry hair, you only be locking into the dryness. And once I go into the benefits a little bit later in the video, I'll explain more about this. But you want to do it on hair that is either moisturized with a moisturizer or just damp, because doing this hot oil treatment will lock in whatever moisture you have in your hair. So you want to maximize that. So right now I'm sectioning my hair into four. These are the twists I did when I moisturized my hair, and you can see that this oil now looks very, very liquidy and light. And the reason I'm shaking it is because it is mixed with many different oils, and now you just want to test it on your hand to make sure that it's not hot. The oil should not burn you. It should be the perfect temperature, just nice and warm. You shouldn't even feel a little bit of a pinch. That is too hot. And the reason as well that you don't want to boil this oil or anything is because lots of the nutrients are going to be denatured, and you don't want to overheat plastic because it can release some chemicals unless you're doing this in like some kind of metal bowl. Either way, it still shouldn't get too hot. You should not burn, not even a little bit. So first I'm focusing on the scalp, and I'm putting a lot of oil, just enough. Hot oil treatments require quite a bit of oil, so I generously apply that all over my scalp. And then now you can see I'm starting to unravel these twists. Now you can section your hair however it is. No matter how fine or thick your hair is, I would still advise you to section it. My hair just happened to already be sectioned because when I moisturized it, I separated it into these twists. So I will not be combing my hair. I'm not using a wide tooth comb or anything. I will just be finger detangling very lightly with my hands, because after we go into the styling and washing and conditioning, that's when the detangling will happen. So over manipulation can cause hair loss, so I make sure not to do that. So you can see I'm putting oil all over the hair, and then I'm also putting it on the scalp. So once I take the hair out of the twist, I'm going ahead and putting on a generous amount of oil all over the hair. And now as I do this, because I do this before or on my wash day, I will section my hair into the sections that I will wash it in. So I usually wash my hair in sections just so that I make sure every single part of my hair is clean and tended to and moisturized, and that every part gets an equal amount of conditioner and all that, because I do have very thick hair and it is very easy to kind of miss spots even if your hair is not as thick. So once everything is in, I go ahead and give myself a nice scalp massage in every section, as you can see. And I'm not sure how rough it looks on camera, whether it looks like I'm using my nails, but I'm not. I'm only using the pads of my fingers. I do have multiple videos on how to do a scalp massage properly, so I will insert that at the end of this video so you can check that out. So once I'm done with the section, I just go ahead and twist it. As you saw, I just lightly finger detangled. And the other reason I did that is to remove any shed hair so that when I'm washing my hair, it doesn't add to additional tangling. Then I just go ahead and do a nice loose twist. And you see, as I reach the end of the twist, I go ahead and spray just a little bit of water. And the reason is just so that the end of the hair can coil around itself, so that I don't have to braid it or anything, so it doesn't unravel. But if it does happen to unravel, it's fine. You can just resection it when it's time to wash your hair. So now I'm going to go into detail into the benefits, oils that I'm using, the benefits of doing a hot oil treatment, and all the information you could possibly need or have. But if you have any questions, feel free to comment in the comment section below. And also, if you didn't subscribe when this video started, hit the subscribe button right down there. Also hit the bell so you get bell notifications every single time I post a video. I post videos every Wednesday and Sunday, so if that seems like your thing, I also post a little bit of makeup tutorials and skincare and whatever you guys request. So consider subscribing if you'd like to. Let's get into everything that you need to know. So first of all, why do I use this specific oil? You can use any oil you like. I would actually say that the best oil you can use is just a pure oil. If you want to mix oils, still mix pure oils like almond oil, avocado oil, olive oil. Those are ones I would suggest. I do not use essential oils when I do this, only because essential oils are very potent and I don't feel like I need to heat them to get any additional benefits. Also, adding to that, I do wash this out of my hair, so I feel like I'm wasting them a little bit. Well, as with these oils, I feel like they do the accurate job of what you're supposed to do. So, in this specific video, I went ahead and used Do Grow oil because it basically has all the natural oils that I really like. In general, I wouldn't really use this, but right now I'm out of most of my oils. So if you have olive oil and any other oil, even just plain olive oil, to be honest, I would suggest you use those oils. But if you have an oil mix like mine that is like 98% natural, I would suggest you use that. And you can use essential oils if you want, like I said, but you don't have to. So now, the benefits. I have about 6 benefits for you. So, stay tuned as you're watching me do everything I did to the first section. There's nothing new here. So, first off, why do you want to do a hot oil treatment? Is it necessary? It's not 100% necessary, but you will see amazing benefits because one, it really seals your hair cuticle and this helps strengthen and moisturize your hair. But like I said in the beginning, you want to make sure your hair is already a little moisturized before, because I have heard a few people complaining saying that when they do hot oil treatments, it actually makes their hair feel more dry than before they did it. And this is because if your hair is already dry or severely dry before you start doing your hot oil treatment, adding this oil is just locking in the dryness. So oils like olive oil do have a sort of higher water content, so they will feel moisturizing when you just put them in your hair, but once your hair absorbs it and your hair gets completely dry, it will feel very dry. So you want to make sure that you please hydrate your hair, even if it's just with water, before you do the hot oil treatment, and you will see a massive difference if you have done it before. Next thing is it helps reduce dandruff because oils are really good for your scalp. Usually, dandruff comes from either a fungal infection or dryness. Now, if you have a fungal infection, you might want to do just a regular oiling of your scalp regularly. Start by using an anti-dandruff shampoo and then go ahead and use oils like tea tree oil that are good for fighting bacteria. But for the hot oil treatment, still, I would suggest you just use the oils like olive oil and almond oil because these are very, very moisturizing and they just make your scalp feel nice and soft, and they really prevent dandruff because they are very moisturizing. But like I said, it's temporary moisture, but on your scalp, it definitely does work. It also reduces frizz because this actually seals in your cuticle, and when your cuticles are more sealed and laying flat, your hair automatically has less frizz, it looks more shiny, and it looks extremely healthy. It also reduces split ends for the same reason because as it seals your cuticle is not like rubbing against the other cuticles. When you comb your hair, it's not super rough. So it does prevent split ends, and also it promotes moisture when you lock it in with these oils. And as you see, you need to be very generous with it. Put it all over your scalp and then you put it all over your hair. Now, does this increase hair growth? Of course, it increases hair growth because a healthy scalp thrives, one. Second of all, as you're moisturizing your scalp, the oil is nice and warm, so it's heating up your scalp. When you do the little scalp massage, you're also adding additional heat and you're sending blood flow to your scalp, which sends, of course, nutrients and oxygen, and this will in turn promote hair growth, making sure that you're taking care of your ends because your ends are what show your length. Your hair can be growing fast from your scalp, but if it continues breaking off at the ends, then you won't see the growth. But if you're taking care of your ends, you will see massive hair growth and very quickly because oils are just packed full of nutrients and antioxidants that your hair really needs. So now, what kind of oils do you use? Again, like I said, specifically in terms of the texture and the weight, I would suggest you use light to medium oils like olive oil, almond oil, jojoba oil, coconut oil if it works for you. I never use coconut oil in my own hair because my hair hates it, but if it works for you, it has a light amount of protein in it and it is a very good oil if it works for you. So like I said, specific, if it works for you, use coconut oil. If not, stick to the other oils. Also oils like macadamia nut oil or an oil mix like mine that is mostly made up of carrier oils and maybe tiny drops of essential oils. Do whatever is cheapest for you and the most healthy for your hair. So the reason why you might be wondering, I know everybody loves castor oil and I do too. I don't really suggest using castor oil. Possibly you can use just a little bit, but it shouldn't be the same amount as the carrier oils. It should be diluted because while it is extremely healthy for your hair and it promotes thickness and hair growth, it is a heavier oil and it can stick to your strands, which means that when you wash your hair, you might need to use more shampoo than usual to wash it out, and then this could in turn lead to dryness. So maybe you could try it out if your hair really loves castor oil, kind of dilute it, and if you feel like your hair still feels oily after you shampoo it, then you might want to leave out the castor oil and just use the other oils. And now another key thing, how long should this hot oil treatment be left in your hair? So there's two ways to do it. You could do 10 to 30 minutes under a cap and then go under heat like a blow drying hat, one of those hats that you put in a blow dryer, or you could go under a hair dryer, anything like that that would heat up your hair, because it just makes sure that the oil stays warm and that it's penetrating into your hair, because the heat will open up your cuticles, and then once you get out and your hair gets cold, the oils are going to seal your cuticle and seal the moisture in. But if you're like me, I prefer to do an overnight treatment because I feel like you get way more benefits from an overnight treatment. So if you've been thinking about it, please do an overnight treatment. You will see such a huge difference. I have low porosity hair and it takes long for oils to penetrate my shaft. So what I do is once I finish oiling my hair, I will go under like some kind of a cap, even just a scarf, because it keeps my scalp warm, and then I will leave it overnight and then wash my hair the next day. But if you're in a hurry or you're in a pinch, maybe you want to blow dry your hair or something after that, just make sure you go under heat because you get maximum benefits compared to just leaving it in your hair for 10 to 30 minutes. If it's overnight, there is no need for heat. Next is, how do you wash it out? So to wash this out, you want to make sure you use a shampoo. It can be a sulfate-free shampoo or it can be a very moisturizing sulfate shampoo. Now, if you're like me and you only wash your hair with shampoos about 1 to 2 times a month, you might want to go the sulfate route, but a moisturizing one. But if you wash your hair more often, I would suggest you go ahead and use a sulfate free shampoo. And then the reason why I'm suggesting you please do not co wash is because co washing, meaning washing your hair with a conditioner, is not going to get the oils out, which means after you rinse your hair, when you try to go ahead and moisturize and do anything like that, the oils are still going to be in your hair, sealing in whatever's there, and it will be hard for you to moisturize or even style your hair because your hair won't absorb the products the way it is supposed to. And then, how often should you use it? I would suggest you only use this 1 to 2 times a month, because as much as it is beneficial and highly moisturizing, to wash it out, you have to use a shampoo. And if you're like me, I only shampoo, again, like I said, 1 to 2 times a month. Shampoo leads to a little bit of dryness, especially if your hair is naturally on the drier side. So I would suggest you only do it 1 to 2 times a month. But if you have severely dry or damaged hair and you do happen to wash your hair with a sulfate free shampoo on a weekly basis, I would suggest you go ahead and do that. And now, like you saw, I had very little shedding, and of course, I didn't comb it. But now I'm showing you what you can do if you have to go somewhere after you have done a hot oil treatment and you don't want oil to be all over your clothes or anything like that. It doesn't drip down ever, but if you want it to look a little neat, this is what I do. I go ahead and spray my hairline with plain water. I get my nice soft brush. I ordered it from Amazon. I'll link it in the description box below. Paid for it with my own money. So I just go ahead and brush my hair, and then I get all my twists up and I tie them with this little silk scrunchie. I just love these so much. They really make a difference. But if you have a regular hair tie, you can use that because this will only stay in our hair for a couple seconds. So once I do this, I go ahead and continue to brush all my hair up again just to make sure it looks a little neat. I do not use hair gel because hair gel is drying and the purpose of the hot oil treatment is to make your hair feel moisturized. So now I'm taking my satin scarf and I'm just going to tie this around my head. And like I said, this is what I would do if like I have a quick errand to run and I don't want my hair to be like oily and looking all crazy in the twists. So I just put a scarf around, and this prevents oil from transferring into my head wrap. And once that's done, I go ahead and take out my hair tie so that my hair is just flowing and it can make like a nice little amount of hair to make a nice shape for my head wrap. And you can go ahead and stick something in there if your hair is not long enough to create like a little shape. So now we're getting my head wrap, which is made out of like cotton, and that's just what it looks like. And now I'm going to going to do my head wrap. And I know a lot of you guys ask me how I do this. I'm pretty sure I've shown it before, but I decided to show it here as well. So you just get those little pieces and twist them over each other. It is super easy. And then you take them to the back. There's no tying going on. I just kind of move the fabric around to fit the way I want it. It's better to see than to listen to me explaining. And then I just twist them a little bit, wrap them around themselves, tuck them in, and that's basically how I do my head wrap. It comes out different every single time, so I really can't say like if you do this, it will come out like this. You just need to work with it and learn to just be like, okay, fine, it's done. So this is my favorite thing to do. So you can go about your day, you can do whatever you want. Meanwhile, your hair is having a nice conditioning treatment in there. If you want, you can even do a plastic cap. Just make sure it's not a very noisy one so it doesn't make noise as you move your hair. So it can add to the moisture of your hair. That's basically my head wrap and my makeupless face. And I really enjoyed this treatment. So if you guys would like more videos like this about hot oil treatments, about growing your long, healthy, natural hair, or anything else, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Hit my face on the side of the screen right there and watch the two videos on the other side of the screen if you'd like to see more videos from me. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!